We've been here so many times, and you still stand in awe at the size of this place. We're at AT&T Stadium. Welcome to Arlington, Texas. Straight ahead is what should be a very entertaining matchup between the Denver Broncos and the Dallas Cowboys. Ball teed up. Brandon Aubrey after the kick. And off we go from Dallas. And this will be a touchback, so we're going to need our first snap to see the first action of this game. All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10. First run of the game for J.K. Dobbins. And they're all the way across midfield before he's brought down. That play good for 17 and a first down.
When you script that first 15, Kate, and that first play is a run play, you can't do it better than that.
That's a 48-yard line.
One play in, Brock, and this drive is already into enemy territory. First down, and they go right back to him. He hits the lane perfectly for an 8-yard pickup. It's 2nd down.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to. Because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of the defense.
That'll be caught by Troy Franklin. And the stop is made, but not until he reaches that 17-yard line. They manage 22 on the rip and a first down.
That's a statement throw right there. A statement throw that lets the opposing defense know it's not just going to be check down Charlie today. They're going to be willing to push the ball down the field, and this defense better respond.
And he takes this one in for the Denver touchdown. The Broncos take a 6-0 lead right away. J.K. Dobbins with the touchdown. They're on the road, but still favored coming into this one. And they quickly made a mockery of that home field advantage, Brock, with an opening drive TD.
Just kind of playing like a team, right? That just knows it. They believe in themselves. They've got that athletic arrogance and confidence coming into this building. They can't wait to take the home crowd right out of it.
Here's Lutz set to kick this away. On the return, here's Jalen Tolbert. And he's brought down inside the 20 on an uneventful effort.
At their own 19-yard line.
First call here coming from the shotgun.
Here we go, 47. Yep, here we go, go to 54, go to 54, 26.
Now the first run of the game for Javonte Williams. And he's taken down after a very productive effort there, Brock, up to the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 21 yards to pick up that first down.
I can assure you of one thing. That carry just brought some extra work in the opening quarter. You couldn't script that run any better.
It only took him one play, Brock, and they have already made it to the 40-yard line. Going to the ground again on first. He gets it ahead, winds up with about 3. John Franklin Myers coming in to clean things up.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
A solid gain of 6 there. It's going to be 3rd and just a yard.
Really good patience right there. It's hard to do for runners in this league because these holes close up so fast, but he was patient, he was explosive, and got a nice little gain on the ground.
Prescott now on 3rd and 1. He's got it, complete to Pickens. And they're going to haul him down a step before the 30, right at the 31. So 20 yards on that play. And that's good for a Dallas first down.
Yeah, here we go.
First and 10.
From the gun, a carry by Williams. And he's brought down after a tremendous effort just to get a couple of yards. Give him 4 that time, so 6 to go on 2nd down.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6. at the 28-yard line.
There we go.
And you just get the playoff. And this is caught. Touchdown, Dallas. The Cowboys finish off their opening drive. So a touchdown on the board for them, Brock, as they start this game off a perfect 1-for-1 offensively.
Yeah, I'm going to call that scripting for success right there. Can't do it much better than that. And listen, when you script these first plays, you don't always know who the targets are going to be. It's really then relying upon what the defense is trying to take away. They couldn't take away that big old tight end.
That's the end of one. Both teams with a little luck finding the end zone early. Scoreboard showing 7s on each side. Back to AT&T Stadium in just a moment. So we've got a tie ball game now as they send this away. Marvin Mims now to return it. And he's brought down just beyond that 25-yard line.
The Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Offense showing trips outright as they get set for this 1st and 10.
Oh, my set.
Shotgun snap to Nix. Headed out right. Chucks this one deep down the right sideline. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
Fairly safe to say as that one falls incomplete this first half so far, it's not met the standard they set for themselves.
We'll try something else from the 27 this time. 2nd and 10. Shotgun handoff for Dobbins. And he's taken down just a couple of yards shy of the 40. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And it's going to be 1st down Denver.
Ooh, I like that. I really like that execution to move the chains. Now that 3rd down call that they had ready, well, they could stick it right back in the pocket for a later occasion.
Didn't sell the draw enough, and he pays the price. He's headed the wrong direction, backs him up for 2nd down. Working quickly here.
It's a loss of 2.
Out of the gun, it's Nix. Buying some time right. Good man, it's Marvin Mims. And he's going to be hauled down on a gain across midfield, down inside the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 21 yards to pick up that 1st down.
I just don't know how you play defense, Kate, and some of the guys in the league today. How can you balance defending somebody who can run for it or throw it right over your head? These dual-threat QBs, they're a nightmare.
A give to Dobbins out of the shotgun. And he gets a few on the plunge forward.
You know, these are the kind of runs, Kate, that a balanced game plan and a balanced offense is built on. It gets you good yardage, it sets up your play action, and it keeps that defense honest.
Has him on the quick hitter. And he's going to be right up against that line that they needed. Make it 3rd and maybe a yard at most from the 34.
Yard pickup on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Going for the first with Dobbins. And he's able to get this to the 32 before going down.
It's a gain
Pickup of 2 here. And that's good for Broncos 1st down.
First down. A pickup of 2 yards. 1st down, Broncos.
Oh, my set.
Again, they'll run with Dobbins. He's forward, gets a couple of yards. It was Oso Digizua in on the tackle.
It'll be this group's job watching the film to find all these plays. The ones that amount to really very little statistically and identify what was needed to just make them a little bigger, stretch them further. Afterthought plays now, they could be the big gains of next week.
And this one's dropped for what would have been a nice game.
Okay, this quarterback gets out of the pocket, genuinely a coin toss whether he's going to keep it with his legs or put in the air. Sigh of relief there defensively as that ball falls incomplete.
Oh, my set.
On 3rd down, here's Nix. Brought in by his back, Dobbins. He gets this down to the 13-yard line. Broncos have to hurry here. Clock still running.
Let's go for Broncos. 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
Straight ahead, here's Dobbins. And the ground game works for the touchdown. The Broncos get some late points and the lead. J.K. Dobbins with the touchdown. Extra point try now from Lutz. Extra point set right down the middle. And the Broncos break that tie and now lead by 7. Here's Lutz set to kick this away. Here's Kevontae Turpin on the return. Good work so far. He's got room. And he goes out of bounds to hand them excellent field position up across the 40.
When you get contributions like that out of your kickoff returner, it is such a boost to an offense. This is about showing no fear, hitting the lane hard, a determined run back, and setting your offense up with great field position.
This one misses the tight end, and it sets up second down.
It is such a weapon offensively when you've got a big tight end that can stretch the field vertically. Not a lot of DBs have the size to cover him. They tried to get it to him in that spot where he could win it, but unfortunately, no connection to be made.
Not on the same page with his tight end. So now it's going to be 3rd and long. Still 10 yards to get this first down as they come to the line. Prescott now on 3rd down. Lobs this deep down the middle. Trying to float that one in, and defender's there for the interception. Talanoa Hufanga makes the play. Well, I know I don't need to tell you, partner, but if you're going to try to get aggressive, really push a throw downfield like that, you have to be smart about how you do it.
Yeah, that is spot on, Kate. If you've got to find that spot when
Pocket isn't holding up, they're able to drop it. After the sack, let's see what the offense does here. 2nd and 18 coming up. We have a timeout called by the Broncos. That's their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Following the sack, needs some positive yards here. It is 2nd down and 18. Nix from the gun. Hits him on the in route. And this is going to be halted just before he can reach the 30. Denver calls the second of its 3 timeouts. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half. Coming to the line for another 1st and 10. Here's Nix to throw. Has it downfield working the left. And he's going to get this to the opposing 41. That one hits for 30. And it's going to be 1st down Denver.
Hey, we're good.
Dose of the hurry up here.
A gain of 30. 1st down, Denver.
Play action with Nix. He beams one deep right side. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Portland Sutton, the man he was after. So it'll be 2nd down.
Captain.
They'll throw again. Nix. He finds Ingram working downfield here. And the stop comes at the 15-yard line as he gets them into the red zone. Now the Broncos take their 3rd and final timeout. You keep this drive moving, partner. Here's another 1st and 10. Once more, it's Nix. Touchdown, Denver. The Broncos will add to their lead at the end of the half. It's a Troy Franklin touchdown. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns. It has been wash, rinse, repeat for them offensively, Brock, as, well, we all wait for this defense to find a little backbone before this becomes a runaway.
Yeah, I'm a little torn up here in this booth because you're exactly right. Offensively, this is just a machine. Surgical. Defensively, you're running the risk of being embarrassed here pretty quickly.
Here's Lutz set to kick this away. Tolbert now to return it. And a decent run back is going to end as they bring him down inside the 30. They've got 1st and 10, Brock, but time for maybe 2 plays at most if they even want to try anything. Looking to throw. He's got it deep downfield. And they will stop him as he gets this down to their 39-yard line. Timeout is called, just 4 seconds, and we would assume, Brock, 1 play remaining in this half. Oh, this is getting ugly early. Intercepted again. Dre Greenlaw picks it off. And the Broncos do not get the return all the way back. That's going to bring us to the end of our first half. So that's the halfway point of this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Brock and I will be back right after this. Here's Lutz set to kick this away. Tolbert now to return it. And he's brought down just inside the 25. Dallas getting everybody set. They've got 1st and 10. First down, here's Dak. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Tough one to retain through that hit. And now they face 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Back to the air, Prescott. Finds him on the crossing route. And he's going to have this up near the 40, just a little bit short of it. He picks up 15 on the play. And that'll be good for a Dallas 1st down.
First down.
Here we go.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Give to Williams from the gun. Get some space around midfield. Free inside the 30. And he's all the way home. Touchdown, Dallas. The Cowboys cut into the lead coming out of halftime. Javonte Williams, the touchdown.
And that right there is why you continue to feed a running back. Definitely the most we've seen him do with any touch this game. And that's exactly what the doctor ordered.
Aubrey good on the point after. And the Cowboys chop the lead in half. It's down to 7. And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. Here's R.J. Harvey on the return. He's got a lane up past the 30. And they'll start this drive in good position, a little shy of the 40. Good starting field position for the Broncos as they get ready for 1st and 10. First play of the drive. Here's Harvey. And he has it right near midfield here. Looks like about a yard short. They gain 11 on that play. And that's good for a Broncos 1st down.
A run like that, Kate, it just gives everybody a little bit more bounce offensively because you also know it can set the table for more.
Knicks now on 1st and 10. Short pass brought in. And this one's worked down to the 33 before being stopped. Give him 18 yards on that play, Brock, and it gets him a 1st down.
You want to become a quarterback's best friend, do that. Turn a short little gain, a short little pass into some yards after catch, and that quarterback will find you again.
The toss running right, Dobbins. And he's going to be stopped, but not before he gets him all the way down to that 15-yard line. That'll go for an 18-yard gain. And it's going to be 1st down, Denver.
1st and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Now an inside handoff to Dobbins. Wasn't a fan of what was ahead there, Brock, but the bounce outside doesn't fare any better. He gets a lone yard at 2nd down. Nick's looking to throw. He brings it in. It's a Denver touchdown. The Broncos lengthen the lead at the end of the 3rd. Cortland Sutton, the touchdown. Well, in a close game, they needed somebody to make that type of play. Now it pushes their lead to a couple of scores and makes a comeback that much more difficult.
You know, Kate, their offense did its part and padded the lead. Now it's up to this defense to make this 2-score lead hold up and carry it across the finish line.
Point after try is good by Lutz. And the Broncos double their lead to 14. Here's Lutz set to kick this away. Tolbert now to return it. And this drive will start inside the 25.
At their own 24-yard line.
All right, right, working from the gun to start. First and 10.
Yeah, here we go. 26.
Dak now from the gun. That's Pickens with a catch outright. Galloping inside the 40. George Pickens. There it is. Touchdown, Dallas. The Cowboys shave some off the deficit late in the quarter. George Pickens, the touchdown. All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now up to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
And he reaches the end zone, so the two-point conversion will cut the lead down to 6. Well, Brock, the run's certainly an option as they lined up for 2, but as an offense, what are you looking for when you decide to throw it instead?
Well, you spent all week working on these plays, and usually you have 2 or 3 that you like. That run game, you're right, you can run it. But there's so much more space with creativity in the passing game. Good offenses, elite offenses, they find a way not just to practice it, but to execute it when it matters.
Offense into the shotgun set as they line this up. First and 10. Beginning on the ground here with Dobbins. And they'll stop him after he picks up 4 to begin this drive.
You know, Kate, that might be a little bit of a disappointing run to him. He wanted more. They always do. But that's exactly what they were after offensively to get this drive moving.
On second down, here's Dobbins. He'll scrape together a few yards, but not much. Third down coming up. This is the end of the third quarter. It's the Broncos with the ball, trying to close out what would currently be a win. Third and just 2 to go.
Almost set. Ready.
Looking to throw. And he let his man too much there, Brock. Incomplete. Fourth down coming up.
The numbers tell us pretty clearly, you get to third and long, extra long, it's really hard to stay on the field. That's disappointing because that was third and manageable and an incomplete.
Look at them. They don't want to surrender the lead or possession. The offense staying out there on 4.
Bombers, bombers, bombers. Ready. Arriba.
He'll throw it. He finds him beyond the marker. And what a hit there. Ouch. He pays the price for moving the chains that time.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a first down.
They'll run on first down with Dobbins. And he has enough room to gain about 4.
You gain that kind of yardage in the run game, and you're going to gain the trust of your offensive coordinator. Plays like that, runs like that, set the table for everything else in the playbook.
Here's Dobbins again on second down. And this great effort winds up getting them well into enemy territory before he's brought down. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a first down.
Broncos first down.
Running it again with Dobbins. And they make the stop after giving up 6 yards. Good run on first. It's second down.
Well, that doesn't net a first down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
It's a give here for Dobbins. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. We've reached the 2-minute warning from Dallas. Broncos up by 6. They'll come up on first and 10. This is Dobbins. And all he can get is 1 yard. Ran that right into the defensive front.
Okay, this is why you got to be careful to just run it always on first down. You got to break your tendencies. The casual fan, that casual fan knew what was coming, but more importantly, this defensive front did too.
Going with Dobbins here. And it's another first down on this drive. Man, this time they're into first and goal.
I think anytime these offensive coordinators in the NFL call a run play, they're just hoping for something positive. To get a first down, that's a bonus.
First down, and they go right back to it. And he drives forward for a little Clock working against him here as they hurry to that line.
Brings up second and goal.
Again, it's going to be Dobbins. Escapes the defender. And this one's stopped at the 3-yard line. The Cowboys signaling for their first timeout. Big play coming up here as everyone gets set for 3rd and goal.
It's now 3rd and goal.
Dobbins. And that should just about do it, folks. They take it in for the touchdown, and that should lock up this win. So that should be the one that does it, Brock. A big one late that puts them up here 2 scores.
What a complete performance overall. The clock where it is and where it stands right now, Kate, that should be the capper. And that is so satisfying as an offense to go up 2 scores.
Nick's going to try and throw for it. And he's into the end zone for 2. That sets him up with a 14-point lead.
You know, we tend to say this all the time, and I'll say it yet again, Kate. Big targets in the red zone are an enormous advantage. Not many guys can match up and defend someone like him, and no surprise, it went right to him for the conversion.
Here's Lutz set to kick this away. Tolbert now to return it. And he's brought down just inside the 25. Cowboys just about set. Here comes 1st and 10. Prescott now off the play fake. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And nice work by the defense to start this drive out. It's a sack on the first play. Might be time to reach in the bag of tricks on 2nd down. 16 to go following the sack. Fits it through the middle. And this is across midfield and into enemy territory. So the Broncos right out of here with a win on the road. And even on the road, this was a game they expected to win fairly convincingly. And I think we can say they've done just that, Brock, to the chagrin of the hometown fans who are hoping to see that upset. With Brock Ewart and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Broncos are winners as we say so long from Dallas.